Good morning, friends. So I have been painting this landscape of this boat on a lake with some trees, really foggy landscape, really fun. But in this video, we're going to focus on the birch tree. I'm kind of breaking this up into many videos. So, the birch tree sticking out of the water, let's get to that. We're just focusing on this one birch tree right here. And I haven't done much to it, I just quickly drew it in just to map where it would be. So if you look at the shadow part of this tree closer to the boat, it's kind of a purpley blue, and on the other side more of an orange. So let's just fill in the trunk right here. Okay, and then I'm going to take, so that was the slightly darker one. Now this one is just a little bit lighter, and I'm going to kind of add that more into the middle. And then we'll kind of blend that into the darkness at the left. The left is the dark side. Our light source is coming from the right over here, so we'll do more of an orange on this side. Now we need to get the branches. So, in order to get the branches looking right, you want them to be really thin, where you need them to be thin. So, in order to do that, what I like to do is take a script liner brush or rigger brush, something with a long tip like that. And these branches, what we're going to do is we're going to go with the shadows again first. And these branches are significantly darker than the trunk of the tree. It's closer to a black, but it's still not. It's more like a deep purple brown. Alright, so I have two rigger brushes that I use. One is a little bit thicker and one is a little bit thinner. So I'm going to start with the thicker one because some of these branches are a little bit thicker and I don't want them to be too thin. And what I like to do is I take each side of it and I flatten it out. So one side and the other side. Even though it's really just cylindrical, you don't have to roll it to get a point. It's actually better for things like branches if you flatten it one side and then pick it up and flatten it on the other side. So then you have a real fine line. If you have your reference photo, just copy the branches just like they are. Try to get as close as you can to what's actually there in the reference photo, especially when you're learning, because that'll kind of help you in the future to just to know how branches work, where they come off, the sizes, the shapes, and just you kind of get used to the flow as you're learning how to do it from real life. And eventually you can kind of just do it on your own and make up your own branches. But it really helps to learn not making them up. But while you're still learning, to actually copy what you see. So there are a few branches and it's going to take a little while, so I'm going to speed this up a little bit and continue making at least the first branches here, and once we get to the skinnier ones then I'll talk to you guys again. Okay guys, so now I'm switching up to the thinner rigger brush. If you don't have one of these, then you should grab one from your local art store or maybe on Amazon. one that's very thin, because it just really helps your painting come alive when your branches are thin like they are in real life. That very, very thin. It just helps it look a lot more realistic. There's just something to thicker branches that just look more painterly and less realistic. So I'm going to switch to this thinner one, and let's continue with these branches. I think we got to all the main bigger branches, but now we're getting to the branches of the branches. So the little twigs and things that are coming off of these, and this is going to really make it look really good. Hit one side, hit the other side, and let's go. Hey guys, leave a comment below. Where are you from? I see that people are watching from kind of all over the world, and I'm really interested to hear where people are coming from when they're watching this. And let me know what you're painting. Just leave a comment below, and I'll get back to you on there. Alright, the trick here with these branches is you want to just lightly touch. One of the main things that I've learned with painting realism is a lot of times you want to barely touch the canvas. That's something that took me a long time to learn. I always wanted to just lay the paint down hard, but really you don't want to do that for a lot of things, for a lot of paintings, a lot of subjects. You just want to lightly touch like this. It's those delicate touches that really will start to make the difference in your paintings. And another thing is with these branches, you don't want to give up and just say that it's good enough. You know, it's easy to just say, hey, it's a landscape and all trees have branches, but we really don't know how many there are and where exactly they're sticking up, which is why a lot of people with landscapes like to just kind of make things up, because you can. Nobody's going to know the difference. But if you want to hit that extra realism in your paintings, then just take the time. It's all about taking all the extra time that you can to make it real, to get all of these branches, as many as you see in your picture. Try to paint that many on here. You can easily just give up and just paint a few of them so that it looks pretty good, looks decent. But do you want it to look pretty good, or do you want it to look really real? Do you want it to look like the picture? Make it look like you could actually step into the painting. If you want that, then make sure you really look at your reference photos and just get as close as you can. Okay, so there's the branches pretty much done as far as the shadows go. We're going to need to add the highlights to the main branches. So the widest branches, you'll see that the light is shining off of where the light source is coming from. So in this case, to the right, above, and to the right. So we'll do that on some of the bigger branches, but the smaller branches you don't want to do that to. When it's really bright behind something, like thin branches, so you see that behind it's pretty much all almost white and it's bright back there. So the thin ones are pretty much, if you look at them closely, it almost looks like they're just dark. They don't have much of a highlight to them. So we're pretty much just going to add the highlights to the thick branches. We're just going to add it wherever you see it in the reference photo, but mostly it's on the top and to the right of these branches. So find the ends of these branches and just use your rigger brush like we've been using. And just lightly hit the top. And something I didn't mention before is make sure you're paying attention to the thickness of the branches and make sure that you change it up. You don't want all the branches to be the same thickness. You want it to be all different thicknesses. Like, see, this one is thick, this one is a little less thick, this one is thicker again, and then these ones are all thin, but they're varying thinness as far down as we can go, until I can't really go any thinner. Alright, that's pretty easy, right? So, we're pretty much done with the branches. You can always add more details if you want to, but as far as I'm concerned, that should be pretty good. So now, let's just get to the trunk. We're going to get to the details on it, these little nodes that are sticking out, some of the color. We need some more texture on there. Just look closely to see where all these little, I don't even know what you call them, little nodes, little breaks, cracks in the bark. So you don't need to take too much time with this. You really just want to throw it on quickly. Usually that'll make it look a bit more natural than if you take a lot of time with it. I like to just put it on quickly, and it actually makes it look a bit more real. Just sporadic throwing this stuff on here. Okay, it's looking pretty good, but as you can see, something is just a little off. And I think, as far as my painting goes, I'm not sure about yours, but we need a little bit of highlight and a little more shadow. Because, like I said, everything was muddying together because it was already kind of wet. Let's see if it might stick now. Let's just add some more highlight to this side of the tree again. And if you want to make it look a little textured instead of just putting it, just brushing it all on there, you can kind of just put down these little marks like I am right now. These little marks, because there is kind of a texture to this tree. These horizontal marks should work really nicely. Okay, and there it is. There's our birch tree sticking out of the water. I have more videos going along with this painting. The background trees, I have a time lapse that shows the whole painting. Make sure you click this one over here and continue watching, and can't wait to see you at the next video.